There we go, guys. Welcome back to Maincast Winter Brawl Day 1. We are ready to round out the day with the final game, the upper bracket for Group B, OG Seed versus Nemiga Gaming. Nemiga, they had some moments. They had a bit of a back and forth game. Arguably against the giants of this group stage, because I don't think that statement can be argued against after what OG Seed just done against their last opponent.
How would you call it?
Violation? Brutality?
Violation. I was gonna say dismantling, but
Mass murder?
dismantling is it's used all the time. Violation is
Decimation. I love decimation, although apparently that's like different thing. Destruction. Should we just go...
decimation is good. Decimation is good too. I still would stick to violation.
Yeah, I think violation is the top one right there. There's a lot of unwanted touch coming out from that PA last game.
Exactly. That poor pubber being jumped on by that PA. Feels bad for him. Nemiga Gaming, however, they decide they don't want to play versus Viper and the puck. Z-Freak on that puck was insane. He just dominated. Viper as well, just Chelsea, I don't know. You just don't want to play against that. So you just get rid of the puck and the Viper, but you know what? You get hit by a Wisp.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, you can take all members out of OG, but you can't take IO out of OG. Probably not played in the carry role, but I think this is the first IO we've seen in the entire group stage.
Yeah, we haven't seen any Wisps so far, and there are still some combinations that work really well with Wisp. I think on the offlane you can combo Wisp with something. Also, you can do it on the safe lane with the good old Wisp plus Gyro.
It is Madara. Let's be honest here.
And remember, you have Doom, but you can always, like, if a target gets doomed, you can relocate them out, and then you reset the fight. By the time you relocate back in, the Doom is out. Overall, it is a slight counter to the Doom in that way. Disruptor obviously picked up instantly versus the Wisp. You can glimpse one target and keep the other in the Static Storm, or just Static Storm and welcome them both in your loving arms. So overall, I like this response by Nemiga Gaming. There's a couple of heroes that you can usually pick versus Wisp. It's Disruptor, it's Winter Wyvern, it's Witch Doctor, things like that. Silencer as well is one of them.
Yeah, I feel like IO, when the patch first dropped, it had a high pick rate with Tiny especially, right? But then once we start seeing Disruptors pick rate go up, IO was just immediately ignored.
Yeah, or people also realize that you don't really need a Wisp for the new Tiny. You could fairly just pick Tiny at any given point, and he carries on his own. You didn't need to combo him. We'll see what OG Seed goes for, because Wisp and Gyro, it's good overall as a strategy, but it isn't necessarily the best lane. Like Gyro plus something else more offensive can be better, and then you can put IO with someone else on the offlane. We'll see what OG Seed goes for, but I would rather have this Wisp as position 4, played by Z-Freak on the offlane.
Yeah, maybe couple it with something like a Beastmaster if that hadn't been banned out. In fact, some good choices of the IO have already been removed in both the Brew and the Beast.
Yeah, Brew and the Beast have been banned out. Heroes that are good with Wisp, something like an Abaddon, Legion Commander, something like that on the offlane is pretty sick.
I feel like Legion's selective though, right? Like if you take Legion IO, it must be that your opponent has picked a melee carry. Otherwise, it just kind of feels a bit underwhelming, I want to say, because you don't have any stuns really.
Yeah. You can always follow up with your position 5, right? And get some stuns there.
Yeah.
That's most likely what will happen. And they go with the Rubik. Yeah, I mean,
it's already a good game.
Casual Rubik pickup with the Wisp. We've seen this combination very often before. It's good.
I always get flashbacks when I watch Z-Freak play of Complexity at Epicenter, where they ran Rubik IO, and the IO tethered to the Rubik and was slower than without being tethered. Luckily nowadays, Rubiks start with boots, so that's not as big a problem anymore. But usually you want a fast hero.
I've seen a pretty sick combo as well in the laning stage, like a Bloodseeker plus Wisp. You both get that movement speed. Also, old school one was Weaver plus Wisp. Just Tether and Sukuchi.
That's true. It's not a bad one. We haven't seen much Chaos. We haven't seen any Chaos Knight at all today. I feel like that hero is kind of a more shadowy pick that's being ignored for the most. But I understand why, right? Like, it's slow to farm if you run as a carry. Off lane is more about these aura builders, and CKs don't really want to build auras.
There are just better picks at the moment. Oh, Nemiga Gaming, they spice things up with the Venom.
Good counter to the IO, the regen.
Yeah, and also another hero. Yeah, definitely Poison Sting works really well versus Wisp. And it's a hero that goes for that vessel quickly, right? So another upside of the Venomancer. Usually the build we see is what? Whale, Vessel, Travels, something like that. Or even just Travels and Vessel. So I think it's a good pickup to go for the Venom.
That's definitely. And Veil already works really well on their team. They could actually opt for more magic damage, force Jar into an early BKB.
But this probably means the Doom is going to be your position 4, right? And then we'll have Doom 4, Venom 3.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first CIS team to run
yeah,
it.
But also we did see a couple of Venom 5s, and now Legion Commander makes even more sense because of the Venom and the Gale. And if possible, OG will try to put Legion versus that Venomancer lane, and Venom doesn't really have like the best time there, as you can't even skill Gale. It doesn't matter. That spell is useless.
You could also see them switch it around. I think like you still have Doom as a free, but I think you're right about 4, especially considering players like XS Vampire have been spamming it in the CIS region. You just kind of get exposed to it a lot and then start running it yourself. You know, it's a disease that spreads across your pub games.
So they pick up the Legion to counter the Vano, but now Nemiga Gaming answered Legion with the Ursa. And we might see a lot of lanes being switched up this game because you want to pick the you want to play the Ursa versus the Legion and not the Vano in the laning stage. But OGC, they definitely recognize this and they'll try to make their own adjustments in the laning stage.
And obviously the counter Ursa is already picked up, so yeah, it just fit naturally, I guess. There is a concern that if Nemiga don't win the lanes, they don't have a game, though. Like, these are aggressive heroes that rely on bullying their opponents out of lane to win the game, right?
Yeah, they definitely want to win the lanes. Then again, after the laning stage, you have the Doom and you have the Ursa. If he does fairly well in the laning stage, it's all about the rotations that he makes with, let's say, drums and whatnot, phases drums, and you start rotating around. I believe they're not a team that lacks a lot of damage in the mid game. We've seen some teams go for Pandas and Enigmas and Brewmasters and Enigma, and suddenly, if you don't hit your spells properly, you don't do anything. You can't kill people. I believe Nemiga Gaming have kill potential on their side. They just have to execute properly. And let's see, the last pick, most likely for both of these teams, are their midders, right? OGC, they ban out the Kunkka. Nemiga Gaming, they don't have the last pick, so they'll probably just ban something that's strong versus anything.
They could be surprising us, and this could end up being like a Veno in the mid, maybe
Veno
as
mid?
well.
It's possible. Definitely a hero that has been played on mid before. It can be played right now as well.
I definitely think Kunkka was a really good ban. It just kind of staples together Nemiga's run at you off the lane.
It's really good versus the Wisp as well, right? And the boat is really good. They ban out the Huskar.
Alright. You amp up the damage on 2 of your other heroes. Although Magnus, the way we've seen it played, is a little bit more greedy these days.
Yeah, like who did we see play Magnus today? We've seen Dandy, right? And he went for Echo Saber BKB. In this kind of a game, I think they could use a different approach, perhaps a utility approach on Magnus with the Blink Dagger and maybe Greaves or something, and just buff up the Ursa. Perhaps get Aghanims at some point, but I think just playing around the Ursa and your offlaner would be much better than thinking about Magnus and his right click potential with the Echo Saber BKB.
Yeah, a BKB won't really help you in this type of game either, right? Because Legion would still lock you down. There was a Huskar ban by Nemiga, so...
Yeah, Huskar is basically one of those last picks that you always want to ban. You don't want to play against the Huskar, right? Do you want to play against the Huskar, KP?
What if I play Viper?
Okay, if you have Viper, then perhaps.
But we can't have Viper here.
But you can't have Viper, so...
See, it's like a story, right? They start their bans with Viper, they finish it with Huskar. The story is complete. Well, there's still things like Broodmother, although we haven't really seen much Broodmother since the patch dropped. Even after they fixed the issue, because originally, like, the spiders were doing no damage, right? Because
Oh. Well, yeah, that's an interesting one. Another, like, they have 3 cores that do really well with Wisp. I like this. Wisp plus Chessie is strong. Wisp plus Zibe is strong. Wisp and Madara also. Most likely, how they'll start is with Z-Freak and Zibe on the offlane, right? And I mean, somewhere where Ursa isn't. As I said before, we should see a lot of rotations in this laning stage from OG Seed. They don't want to play versus the Ursa as Legion Commander. They want to find the Venomancer, and if you're Nemiga, you want to play with Ursa versus the Legion.
And the smart thing is that they could actually catch out Chosen One. If he goes for the runes right at the start of the game, they could force a TP rotation to get the lanes they want. Because
and remember that the Chosen One is playing that Venomancer, so it is position 3 Venom for sure.
That's the thing. I think like Nemiga has to play defensive when it comes to rune control and Venom's lane at the start of the game. Otherwise, you do just either get forced into an early TP in, which locks your lane, or you have to slug it out to lane with like 280 movement speed. All right. Well, there are our lineups. Final game of the day, guys. Best of 1. OG Seed versus Nemiga Gaming. Who's going to get that top spot for Group B? OG's lineup a little bit more classic previous patch, I'd say, whereas Nemiga's is more updated, right? With the Doom coming back in, Disrupt the back being popular. Even Veno, a hero that's been missing for quite a while. Not due to people not attempting it, though. I just felt like the issue with this hero, I've always said it, is that Veno has this huge window of what's the word I'm looking for? Window of opportunity for his opponent, should we say, between like 6 and 12. Window of opportunity for his opponent, right?
So you're saying that he's useless at
yes. See, you understand me. You just get the translation, my friend. Like, let's be honest.
It depends on the laning stage and on the game, particular game. If you have ways of getting through this, getting through the serpent wards and getting on top of him, plague ward, sorry. Then like the Venomancer can feel kind of obnoxious to play. But if that Venomancer is constantly pressuring you and you can't find an angle to get on top of him, he can just be incredibly difficult to deal with. And also, Poison Sting, it's going to be good versus the Wisp and versus the Necro when we think about it, right? Because the same way, works the same way with the region reduction.
Yeah, I think it was a needed buff, though, because like the things I was thinking of is it kind of felt like a worse Timber or Enchantress in the previous patch, where it was expected to force attention to its lane, because it wanted to set up in that lane, right? Put down wards, slowly push the tower, force people to come to you. But that was it. Now with the health regen reduction, it has something to kind of bridge the gap between 6 and 12, because let's face facts, Poison Nova level 1, it's quite underwhelming.
What I'm really surprised is the fact that Venomancer just went offlane and Legion Commander is going there now. Yeah. So I expected this to happen a little bit earlier, and I was worried that they won't even try to make a change.
This is the other bigger reason why Veno couldn't really be picked in previous patches is, well, as most people will remember, it wasn't long ago. Offlane was ruled by Legion, Abaddon, and I'm missing one there. Basically Dispels. That's all you really needed.
It's Legion and Abaddon, that's all you need.
Yeah.
But you see Legion moving bottom instantly, Venom moving top.
Like, get me the hell out of here. Did start with Windlace as well, so the musical laning won't be as detrimental to his progression early on.
300 movement speed on him. Not too bad at all.
And of course, Ursa's just a speedy bear by default. So, things should settle those lanes. You ultimately want to try and shift out of this, though.
It looks like this laning stage will start the way Nemiga wants it. And now, even if you port, if you're OG, you won't really get what you wanted, right? Because they will just port the same.
Yeah, you need to get a pick off to force a rotation in first. Whoever does that first will have the advantage for the rest of the laning phase. But the mid lane should at least be a bit better for OG, as you are a melee hero against Necrophos. Not impossible to kill the Necro though, right? If you can just find him out of position, you can skewer him under tower.
If you get a couple of skewers properly, like you can take down Chessie, but this is Chessie's lane to lose. I think he should be completely fine versus the Magnus.
All right. TP rotations lead to literally nothing. I'm surprised they tried that without getting a kill first.
Yeah, usually when you rotate like this, when you have a lane that you think isn't advantageous for you and you want to change it, usually you try to sneaky TP in the trees and rotate behind, get a kill, and then keep the lane that way. But this way, they didn't, just like you said, they didn't accomplish anything. The lanes are the same, just on different positions.
In fairness, it is awkward though, right? Because you think, what are some of the most defensive supports you can get in Dota? And IO plus Rubik definitely is high on the list. Not easy heroes to get kills with. They're usually designed to just give you an easy lane, allow you to cruise through to the mid game.
Especially with level 1 telekinesis, it's pretty bad.
That was a very humble definition. I'd say it's absolutely terrible. Pexu is losing the regen battle here.
Well, he has one salt to work with.
Fires.
So, 2 Fairy Fires tangos, he should be fine. And will find a haste here on the mid lane.
Ooh, the salve got cancelled though. At least the haste will get you back to the fountain quickly. Not as quickly as dying, but that's usually not the option you choose.
Doom has abandoned Venomancer on the bottom lane a little bit in his
He's looking
search
for
the
his quest for the right creep.
Yeah, he finds ice armor, which isn't too bad, but I believe he was searching for a wolf instead.
Definitely. That's the way you can kill people, especially with a Gale. But this will do. At least make sure Gyro and I can't really trade effectively. Instead, Madara's in trouble. He has to TP away. We'll live. Barely.
You shouldn't attack him. Like, if he has ice armor on, and
yeah, the
you
attack's
attack
low.
him, plus you get Galed, you're just useless. You can't do anything. Your movement speed is reduced, your attack speed is reduced, you're just useless as a gyrocopter, and he had to TP to the tier 1 there.
Which means he could actually die when they reach 3, because Scorched Earth level 2 is nothing to mess around with.
Yep. So when it comes to the laning stage, on the mid lane, Magnus is keeping up, 16 CS versus 20, not too bad. Legion Commander and the Ursa on par as well, 14-14. Venomancer a little bit behind when it comes to the last hits on this bottom lane, but has been forcing Madara and Zefreak to use a lot of regen. So kind of evenish laning stage, so far at least.
And these lanes do get very aggressive at 3, especially for Nemiga, right? That's where an Ursa can kill someone with 2 points of Fury Swipes. That's where with the second point Scorched Earth, you can also find kills with the Doom. So that's where we might start seeing kills occur. With almost 4 minutes in, no first blood. However,
Zebe
is going to be the first blood by looks of it. The final clap will come out and Nefrit gets the kill.
Clap?
No claps here. Nefrit doesn't level clap until 4.
Yep, that was kind of greedy to go on Fervian there as he had sticks. I guess they did check it. He was hoping for Moment of Courage to proc a bit more, but it only procced once, so they didn't have enough damage.
Yeah, and now it gets messy in the bot lane. There's Madara jumping on him. They put the frost armor up, but they can't pursue on the tower. Oh, Ursa though will go down. They dove the tower for that. He didn't have the regen of Fervian and ran all the way back to base.
Yeah. It was all planned then, right? That's it. Jibei died so he can come back and take down Ursa.
Yeah, you know, more XP and gold involved than someone who's already got kills. Madara is scaled up, which means that Zefreak can't run him out because he's slow as well. Overcharge to try and help, but Desh seems like an inevitability here. He has to turn around and fight because Astro's going to try and run him down. They might just go for a deny here. Zefreak's thinking about it. But they'll Fairy Fire up. They're trying to get them. Chosen One has to back off. Problem is now, I don't think OG can go for runes. The Gale comes out. Chosen One's going to go down first. Madara will... No, we didn't get the deny! Oh, no. So close. Zefreak mistimed it, though.
Yeah, he just attacked him for no reason. He was like, alright, here you go.
He turned on him.
Yeah.
You're running out of gold and regen on the lane. Times get dark and former friends, they become enemies.
I'm sick of you carrying and taking all the creeps and all the last hits.
He's just yelling, I'm sick of Gyro IO, goddammit. Pick something new. Sounds a bit more like Zach. He likes to come up with these new, more innovative ideas in the support role. And IO Gyro.
Well, Chosen One. They're going to do the old trick again.
Yep, but Gale stops that. Oh, Gale is so good against IO combos.
It's the longest slow level 1, I believe. 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Duration 15 seconds. This is the longest slow level. The best slow level 1, definitely.
And no hero suffers more than an IO lane because you're just slowing 2 heroes, essentially.
I'm actually very surprised the OG didn't try to switch it up again and put Legion versus him, but, you know...
I think they're kind of content with it.
Yeah, Legion is doing alright on the top lane. 25 CS versus the 29 of Ursa. Each got 1 kill, right? Ursa got that first one. Legion Commander the second, but very even lane.
I think they're just trying to leverage the fact that the outer lanes are draws more or less now, and then look at Necro, right? Like the net worth is big. Gyro, okay, less of a draw now. Z-Freak has to TP away. Just about makes his escape. They were trying for mid. Pexu was rotating. They weren't able to do it though.
Z-Freak TP to the tier 1 though, so he will get some experience here, but he has no mana. Now when Gyro rotates in, perhaps... well, Gyro is actually rotating top, and Z-Freak without a TP...
I'm done with
this. He's just gonna stay. He's just gonna stay and get some farm.
It's only level 4 Gyro though, so there's no kill opportunity on Ursa, who's already up at level 6. And this is a lot of time spent by Pexu in the mid lane for nothing. They didn't even get the tower.
He has to rotate top and perhaps try to dive Nefrit. They just have to be careful of any response from someone like Melojoule and his Magnus. 1 TP, RP, and their aggression is completely sorted.
Well, he's going for an RP in the mid instead. He found Chessie on the maximum range of the RP. Doesn't have the mana for a skewer, but won't need it. They do get the kill into Necro.
He actually tried to turn and use Reaper's Sight, but didn't really manage to. Also, no levels in Ghost Shroud definitely does hurt him on this mid lane. In a situation such as that one, perhaps if he has a Ghost Shroud, he can actually survive. And they rotate the Legion Commander finally towards the bot lane.
Well, you're at a point where it's not the biggest deal now. It's not like you're level 6, so Seabet, you can whittle away at him, but you will never kill this Venom.
Yeah, he actually used his press the attack to get Gale off of him, but Gale connected both him and the Wisp, so Wisp couldn't really follow up. Unfortunate for Z-Freak.
Now you're at a stage where +1 hero, your Gyro just dies to Nefrit as well as the other thing, because he has that Enrage and 3 points and Fury Swipes. Gyro doesn't feel so tanky at that point.
Yeah, so far Nemiga has played this laning stage pretty well.
They finally done it. It looks like the 3rd rotation by Pexu. Wow. The first 2 is hanging around. They're trying to get for the kill on Mela, right? Oh, they deny! Oh, see you, suckers. Alright, Chessie got rid of the tower, but that wasn't the way he envisioned it happening.
They've committed so hard in trying to take down this tier 1, and it still gets denied by Melojoule. Well played. And also, he's going for the same build. It's a couple of bracers, power treads into Echo Saber.
Seems to be the way. Echo Saber, I think, was always a staple, whether you wanted to do the Ags build or not. It's just such a good item.
Gives you the opportunity to get some farm, right?
Yeah, and a little bit of kill potential, right? Because you get that meme. Overall, decent item.
He will get that level 6 very soon now on Doom. He needs 1 more creep.
He'll choose this one. Still only has the 1 point Devour, so this has been more or less the standardized build for Dooms at the moment. Max out the Scorched Earth. Once you have level 7, you can look at starting to either max out Scorched Earth or start to level Devour.
Scorched Earth is just so good. The problem with Doom is he has this sweet problem that all 3 of his spells are really good. So Devour is good to max out, Scorched Earth is amazing to max out, and Infernal Blade on its own is also pretty damn good. But Scorched Earth right now at this moment is just the best of the 3. We've
kind of come full circle, right? Because it used to be Scorched Earth a few years ago was the Doom build, but back then you had the regen involved in that element as well.
Yes.
And Outpost?
Used to be Scorched Earth, then Devour, then Infernal Blade, now it's Scorched Earth again.
Oh, years back it wasn't even Infernal Blade, it was the, what was it called? Question? It had a question mark in the name.
Level up Death.
Yeah, level up Death.
But that's so long ago, man. We had Infernal Blade for
back
like
back
3-4 years at least. At least.
I mean, it was a pretty dumb spell, to be honest. So
Level up Death was so stupid. Like if your hero is
if you're the right level, it hurts. Otherwise,
if he's level 3 or any multiplication of level 3 by 5, if you subtract 10 off of that, then he will deal 1000 damage.
And I'm sitting here like, Dota's already complicated enough. I don't want to do maths. I just want to enjoy the game. When they heard us,
It
they
was-
said,
it-
"Okay,
It was a pretty simple spell, but it was pretty good too. I still like Infernal Blade a bit more now.
Especially with the Ags. The Ags is godly. And cost less than a Silver Edge, you know? That's the way you have to think about it. But OG Seed have completely rotated to the top side of the map. So they want to draw attention here, and Chosen One will be the first one to come up. Not an easy kill to dive, because you could get the Poison Over out before you kill him, and then you just see a turnaround. But there is a smoke rotation out from the supports from Nemiga.
Yeah, you have the Doom, you have Static Storm as well, so perhaps they can make a play here. There's the possibility of the Shrine TP.
Jump in. Oh, Madara, he had to go back for the item.
Z-Freak with the Rillo, perhaps.
He doesn't even need it. Meanwhile, Peksu will try and get away. Good luck with that, though. The glimpse brings him back. So they find a constellation prize. That was not the kill they were looking for. And now Doom has been used.
Yeah, that's a problem with the new Disruptor and the way you play it. Basically, Disruptor always almost gets 2 levels in Thunderstrike, so you don't have level 3 Glimpse, and you don't have that range to reach the target that you want. Sadly for them, they don't get that massive kill on the Gyro. Instead, they have to just be content with that position 5 Rubik, and that's not really great.
No. All in all, the grand scheme of things, it's not looking too bad for Nemiga, though. The teams are pretty even. Chessie is, of course, on top of the net worth chart. I would say, to an extent, the heroes of Nemiga do more with less gold, right? Especially the Ursa.
Definitely. You have the Ursa, you have the Venomancer. Disruptor only needs 6 to Doom. He can always Doom. On the other hand, you need some levels and items on Legion Commander, on Gyro. But right now the game is pretty much very even. Legion Commander mid lane. You might see the first
Reload.
duel.
With the duel coming out as well. Reinforcements arrive. Scythe everything for this Doom to say bye to his existence.
He dies for a really long time. Legion Commander gets the first duel victory damage as well. Pretty well played by OG. The game is very much mirrored. Like you can see Gyro and Wiz playing on that top side. At the same time, Nefrit playing on the bottom with Fervian giving him some support.
Yeah. They could leave Nefrit to his own devices, but this is a risky area in the map to farm, so...
You don't really want to leave him alone. They have enough control to take the bear down.
Yeah, the whole idea is that you want Veno to draw as much attention as possible and guard the other 2 cores.
Yeah, and that's also very interesting, because usually you would expect Chosen One to be around that bottom lane, right? Just pushing in the tier 2 and spamming them and forcing them to go there. But that's not the case. Instead, they decided to put Ursa down bottom. And he does have that Basher completed now. So, phases Basher. Very straightforward build from Ursa.
Me hit
No
things.
runs, nothing like that. Yeah, pretty much. Me hit things. That's
Me
all.
hit more things. Straight away a bash as well. Rubik didn't even have a chance to respond. Also, by the way, Chosen One, he has the gold for Spirit Vessel now. So their timings on their items will sync up. They can look to fight. It's a matter of what you have on the side of OGC to rebuttal that. Trying to see what the next big thing... They are going to go straight for the Ags after the drums and Madara, so no rush towards the BKB. Understandable as you'll still be hit up by the Doom.
Another hero that's forced to build a different item build is Legion Commander. Zibe, he's actually going for a Shadow Blade. Blink Dagger in this kind of a game is alright, but when you're playing versus Venomancer, it's very difficult to utilize it properly, as more likely than not, the Plague Wards are just going to hit you once and you won't be able to blink.
Nefra.
Zibe?
Full staff. Glimpse away. They're still chasing. Everyone will go for the TP away. Can they see him? They can. Peksu gets the perfect position to see him through the tree line and use his own glimpse against him to get the second dual win of the game.
Yep. You can see now why Fervian was there supporting the Ursa. He did a really good play with the glimpse on the Legion Commander, but then again, when he was trying to escape, he didn't even break line of sight. He could have moved behind the tree and then that TP would definitely happen. But instead he just stood there and died.
Still at least gets Nefra out, keeps him alive. There was an attempt brewing by Nemiga top. You saw that as well, right? Both the Veno and Doom were standing by, but no one came for the runes. There wasn't a trade opportunity for them. But yeah, it's just about keeping this Ursa alive as much as possible. He's going straight for the Abyssal. Like, screw Blink. You don't need it. You get it built into your Basher now. Once you upgrade it.
Just run at them, that's all.
Yeah.
Just need to run at them. But who's going to initiate? That's the question. The Magnus isn't going for... Oh, he actually has a blink already, so... With that blink, they're able to make a play. You don't have to have one on Ursa too. It would be good still, but... If he can hit hard, that's also pretty fine too.
Yeah, and Doom will go for a blink as well. So you'll end up eventually with 2 forms of initiation. Meanwhile, Veno... Yeah, it should just be a build up into pipe. Then maybe you look at someone like Yules or 4-star. Reload coming in the mid lane. They call out Doom. I'm not really sure what the plan was there. He was hanging in the tree line.
Someone has to die. That's the plan.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Like, someone it's...
That seems like a grim living.
Exactly.
Thanks, Liz.
Someone has to fall. Doom says, okay, it's gonna be me this time, boys. He dies.
RP. They're looking to kill off Jaro. I'm not sure if he dies, so the stack storm goes down. They drag away. Rage has been used. The Spirit Vessel out. Gyrocopter will also fall. As they'd already used that reload, they immediately get punished for it. And Chessie might join his teammates in the grave here. Ghost Shroud press the attack to try and get him away. But Zibe not able to contribute much here. Io trying to keep him alive, but Chessie will go down. And now Zfreak has no one to escape to. Will join free in the grave as OG Seed.
They get everyone here.
Yeah, they're getting a big case of save your hero syndrome. That's going to cost them the whole team as a result.
Oh, they just got wiped. Nemiga outplayed them so hard with that one Doom that they thought that because they killed Doom, they have the opportunity to be more aggressive, perhaps threaten the tier 2. But that just simply isn't the case. These heroes of Nemiga, you said it yourself, they do so much even without having a lot of items. And now they did reach those items. And you can't retreat. That's also a problem. Like, if you go in versus Nemiga, you have to fight. You can't retreat because of the disruptor.
And Pexu. Oh, look, a bonus meal on top of Roche. Thank you very much, says Nemiga. So now a 5k net worth lead, and they have an Aegis in the hands of Ursa.
And that's all Vessel charges for Chosen One. He has 2 right now because he's been using them a lot. But every single that matters a lot, as those Vessels will come in handy versus the Wisp versus the Necro. Some of those plays there weren't really on point by both teams. Some spells were missed, but in the end, Nemiga come out on top, and they should be very satisfied with the last couple of minutes.
It feels like OG Seed are trying very hard to turn Legion into kind of a right-click core with these early duel wins, because they know that Chessie is a utility builder, right? Usually the way that Legion fits into a team is that instead of being this carry, if it doesn't pop off or go right or naturally happen, you just build into like pipe, blink, and you just form a kind of lockdown service for your team.
Yeah, but you can see that he's going for that Shadow Blade, right? So basically what's going to happen is their game plan is, let's Shadow Blade catch targets out and then relocate in. If they didn't have this Wisp, then perhaps Legion would be that pipe builder. But with the Wisp and the Gyro, they're thinking, all right, this is going to be easy pickoffs for us as long as we have relocate available, plus the duel.
Speaking of easy pickoffs, Neferet just completed the Abyssal.
Yeah, and they have RP as well, and Static Storm mid lane.
And they use it straight away. They throw out the Doom for good measure to make sure Chessie is not getting out in one piece. And the Courier almost... Oh, he gets it. Ferbian sees the final strike. Kills the Courier as well. Pipe. Speaking of which, Chosen One just completed his pipe as well. It's kind of a distraction. Like, no one wanted to go to the Neferet lane.
That should be a tier 1 on the mid lane.
It feels like OG has to play a game of dodge for the next few minutes.
They just have to outplay them completely. They have to find a way to... Oh, top lane?
Yeah, he needs to just bug out. He needs to go for a reload play out, but it's not going to be quick enough. And instead, Madara might go down. They'll find both of them as they run them through and kill off the combo. Io and Gyro are dead.
Yeah, they're being destroyed. Dismantled. What did you say? Violated.
Violated. Yeah, the violation has returned to the violator in this game.
They're playing versus this Wisp combo really well. There is Wisp Gyro on one side of the map, but Disruptor is just catching them, and they can't use the relocate out because the glimpse is there.
Oh no, speaking of glimpses, Pexu.
Zibe on Ferbian.
It's gonna be a duel. They'll get the duel win, so it's a trade in the end, but can Zibe now get out? He already used to press the attack, so I'm not sure the answer is yes, because here comes Neferet. Mello will yoink the kill though.
At least he got the dual damage, right? That's the point. I guess. Fervian tips him because of that, so...
It's like, whatever, take your damage. How are you going to deal with an Ursa at this rate? Same with the Vena.
usually when you're playing Wisp plus Gyro, if you find yourself in a situation such as this one, you can split the map, slow it down, you know, and outplay them strategically, split push them, rat them. But this side of Nemiga is very fast-paced. This Ursa is everywhere, so is Magnus. And Disruptor can always be lurking from the trees to glimpse you back when you try to retreat. So
That's the
right
big
now,
one.
Nemiga has outplayed them completely with the heroes that they've got.
That's the thing. That's why they banned the Kunkka in the final phase, right? The Disruptor was already through. Your backup plan with Jiraiya was already countered. Thus, you end up taking some of the safest farm, and every time you try and go for that more aggressive play on your enemy side of the map, someone's dying for it. Okay, Shadow Blade complete. Zebet, what you got?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a walking woods.
Exactly, a couple of sentries with the plague wards, and suddenly this Shadow Blade is. I've been hyping it up for a bit, but in all honesty, this Shadow Blade, more often than not, just backfires, and you don't really benefit a lot from it when you're a Legion.
Even the Blade Mail build up, like once you get to a stage where BKBs come online, maybe you kill the supports quicker, but that's gonna be it. I mean, Blade Mail did get nerfed pretty heavily.
Still, we're talking like they're being completely dominated, which they are right now. But they're playing with Madara Gyrocopter, and they have Wisp on Z-Freak. Z-Freak on Wisp, that is. I believe they can definitely take this game if they manage to go late game. They're playing versus pretty much one core lineup in that Ursa.
Yeah, they have to buy a lot of time. And in fairness, Nemiga do not have the quickest push when it comes to hitting buildings anyway.
So if you're OG Seed, just buy yourself some time, try to farm up as much as possible, get this Aghanims completed, which actually has been completed by Gyrocopter right now, and then fight afterwards.
Yeah, and Roche is going to be reclaimed soon. So that's when you can look to do it. Just let them have this more or less useless tier 2 tower in the bot lane. Just retain control of the top side of the map, and maybe look for a kill on the back of the Aegis expiring soon. In fact, it has now just been reclaimed, but there's a smoke movement. Nemiga straight away want to keep up the aggression straight after losing the Aegis.
I love this move. I don't see this often enough by teams. You take the tier 2, instantly smoke up and move towards your jungle to shove them away from it, because that's the area you want to be playing in from now on, because it's so close to Rosh.
Well, they know it's coming, actually. There's a circle drawn by Madara. He's like, they're here. Yeah, we got vision down, but smoke rotation's bound to happen.
And you see Nemiga, they're thinking that the side of OGC is hiding in the trees. They're thinking that they're around here somewhere. You might see Veno even plant some plague wars. Yeah, you see like up there in the trees. They're thinking someone is hiding there, but they're wrong. Sadly for them, everyone has retreated on the side of OG Seed, and they started split pushing the bottom lane. However, it doesn't really matter that much. The tier 1 is still alive on the Dire side, and even if you take it, your big objective right now is to stay around this shrine of Radiant Shrine, and ward it up so that you can take Rosh easier.
Exactly, and they're just going to get the towers as a bonus. They had to come up here sooner or later. They can't commit for the tier 2. The good thing right now, Zebet is pushing out mid, so it's not easy for him to get on that tier 2 as well. He's trying to buy time, as we mentioned before. I mean, the XP difference as well. Definitely noticeable in Nemiga's favor as well as the gold.
Oh, duel?
Okay. Bervin
And the river?
fought safe in his own jungle. I think they learned from their mistakes last time they done the reload plays. So, no duel win. Definitely a death for the Legion, though.
So...
Oh, no C-Freak. Oh. Yeah, that's a dead ball. Right, that ball has been crushed. The dream has been popped.
I think he thought that he has enough damage to take down Fervian alone. And he's hoping that even if he kills, even if he dies afterward, dual damage will be worth it. But he doesn't even kill Fervian, yet alone get the dual damage.
In fairness, he did get incredibly unlucky with the procs. I don't think he got a single one, but still. The Disruptor is the same level as your Legion in this game. It's pretty painful.
I actually expected OGC to be favorited. What are the odds, by the way?
The odds must be swinging back. They were as high as, like, I think at one point they were definitely in OGC's favor by a few, but now it's up to odds of 12.5 to basically 1. So if you go and gamble on Nemiga, if I'm not mistaken, you get 1 cent on every dollar. So
that's great. Great odds.
I don't think they are, Liz.
Amazing odds.
Haters should have gambled early. Pexu will be able to move away with the press the attack. Lift to slow down
Today,
Doom as well.
however,
They're chasing. Zibe gets found, but they didn't even manage to get Pexu out as the blink forward was there. And Astral sets up a second kill for his team.
Yeah, you can see Mother and Wisp instantly moving towards top lane. They don't want any of this. They don't want to fight, but they might have to because it looks like Nemiga are coming for their high ground. Yeah, they will push high ground.
Yeah, they wait long enough. They're TPing across now. They see the move towards Outpost. Z-Freak. He doesn't see him either. Oh no.
Fervian.
There's the vision. Good luck getting out of this one. Madara's just waving by at this point. I don't know you, bud.
Outposts pretty much allow you to do this. They make the game so much easier. If you're up front and if you're controlling both outposts, it's very difficult for the enemy team to just sneak out outside of their base and start split pushing. Because you can just port on the outpost like they just did and kill them.
They're not done killing.
Now the smoke.
Here they come. They see Zebra. Shadowblade trying to run away, but there's the Abyssal, the Enraged, the jump in to get the kill. Legion dead for 45. They need to get everyone else out. Madara already just TP'd though. He TP'd from top. They're pinging it out. They know he doesn't have a TP because he escaped them last time. There it is. They can find the kill. No way to protect himself. No IO to bail him out. He is going to die. Chessie, meanwhile, will try and just slow down the push, get rid of the creep wave quickly.
This is looking really, really rough, boys, in OG Seed.
That's an understatement right now, Liz. This is an 18,000 net worth lead. And after the game we just saw out of OG Seed, you maybe expected a bit more than this. But yeah, you can't take anything away from Nemiga.
OG Seed violated Cyber Dogs, and Nemiga is violating OG Seed too much.
A day of violation. Yeah. Maybe it's the power of Gyro. Maybe we've overrated it for too long. It's definitely not had its moment of impact so far in this game. And after they take the racks, they head back, get the shrine, get the Roche.
Exactly. And you ward up this area. You also have the Venomancer who's going to be spamming those plague wards, so you won't even be able to approach it easily. You don't have any sort of initiation on the side of OG Seed as well. Smoke.
Oh no.
They know. Oh,
they done it too soon.
Yeah, and look at them. They instantly just get over here with the Magnus, but
the DD was seen by Nemiga, so that won't be an advantage for OG. They are going wide on this wraparound though. I know people in the neighborhood. Did they see the trees break? I don't think so. So they know there's smoke and they just don't know exactly where.
They should know. They should pretty much guess that they're coming from their own shrine.
All right then. We'll just sit in the Roche pit. You guys have to come to us.
No. You see how Chosen One just put that plague ward next to his shrine.
He de-warded as well. They know they have to go right now. Zebe sees Fervian. No, Glimmer Cape away in time. The skewer across. Will control up Zebe. And now Lift's going to come out. Cooldown's been used, but the team's been thrown out. Necrophos straight away. Madara has to stand and fight. Astral down to half HP. But Chessie should die quicker. He will go down. They'll move across to Madara next, who's stuck in the static storm. And the RP follow through. They're going to wipe the entirety of OG. And this is looking all but over. GG comes out. Nemiga take the final game of the day.
Man, Nemiga, what a performance by them. I actually didn't expect this. Versus OG Seed, I actually thought that OG Seed might have a slight advantage, but they just dominated. This lineup was played to perfection by Nemiga. I don't think, like, I think OG Seed got caught in that let's counter them, you know, that syndrome in which you pick Legion Commander to counter the Venomancer, but your Legion Commander isn't on the lane versus the Venomancer, and then after that your Legion Commander must go for Shadowblade instead of a Blink, and that's too late. By the time you have Shadowblade, you are already so far behind that your initiating moves don't even matter. You're trying these relocate plays, which do work out a couple of times, but you need to do them non-stop, or this aggression from Nemiga just runs you over with the Ursa with phases into Basher into Abyssal, like, and it was good enough. Venomancer was also just such a good pick versus the Wisp with the Vessel versus the Legion and the Necro too. Later on, they just played to perfection versus OG Seed.
No, I was gonna say just quickly it really felt like OG Seed, because they couldn't maybe get those really popular picks they got last game immediately fell back to the previous patch. And what we're
I think
seeing
they just
here,
tried. It's not even the last patch. Like Wisp plus Gyro haven't been played for quite a long time, right? I
yeah,
think,
but like previous
yeah.
iterations, instead of like
Mm.
trying something new, it just felt like the Necrophos is maybe a little bit different, but the Legion was very popular last patch, and Gyro IO has always kind of been a staple fallback. And I feel like every other iteration of Gyro IO, I can kind of see it, but this newest iteration doesn't seem to have that big oomph factor that we're so used to. Maybe it's the change to the maps, right? Because you used to have those triangles that were so valued because of the ancient camp, but they've been removed.
There's definitely multiple things. It's the ancient camps. It's the triangle. Obviously, it's the outposts too that you can get to easier. So any relocate play that you do can be responded by the enemy team, right? Right. If you relocate somewhere in their jungle, they can either port to the shrine or they can port to the outpost if they have it controlled to counterplay you. So there's a bunch of stuff that's different right now, which makes Wisp and Gyro not as strong as before. The hero themselves got changed to Wisp isn't as potent as he used to be a few patches ago. But uh, all things said and done, I think Nemiga definitely outplayed them. Like they just played really well and dominated them throughout the game.
Definitely. Their draft made sense. They played it right. There was good aggression coming out. I like the rotations early on and just refusing to give OGC the good matchup. And also, Melojul, like the patience at times in the mid lane to make sure he doesn't overextend. He's like, okay, you know what? You're winning early on the CS. You're kind of pushing me out a little bit. But your time will come, Necro. All in all, Nemiga looking promising. OG Seed still need to prove themselves. And I don't think they get a chance to prove themselves tomorrow. I think tomorrow we've got Group A, more Group A matches. So 2 best of 3s tomorrow. And then Group B will resume on the 30th for 2 best of 3s. But that is us done for today. That's right. You can go get some rest. You can watch some NA, Dota, LOL, pub games or something. And me and Liz will be back at 15:30 CET tomorrow for more Group A action. And instead of it being best of 1s, you'll get to follow a bit more of a storylines. We'll have some best of 3s. But we're done. So, scram. We're done with you. Be back tomorrow, 15:30 CET. We'll see you then.
Bye bye.
Mwah.